Welcome back to another week of Friday Night Fights. This is, what are we looking at? Week 9, and we're covering Division 2B of Rebbl, Season 12. With me, as always, is Charles.
Hello,
Hey.
another crazy week of results, it seems.
Yeah, it's an interesting week. Some ups and downs
Yeah.
for sure. Some
Division's
unexpected
so
results.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into the action. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll jump into our scorecards. Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is the scorecard where we take a look at last week's results, your matchups, and see how they went. Last week's matchup of the week, Charles was Yeti to Conquer
Yes.
and Murdery Space Elf Troop. Did you get a chance to watch this one?
Yes, I watched it live on Iron Master's stream.
All right.
I didn't catch the beginning. I felt like the Norse weren't getting a lot of armor rolls in their favor, but they scored on turn 7. That's where I came in, I think, when they were scoring. Don't remember why they were forced to score early. Then the elves, they have a good chance at a 2-turn TD, but Iron Master did a great job of positioning the Yeti with disturbing presence well and basing people with tackle, making it difficult. When the elves go for that score, they end up throwing an interception. And then on the second half, the elves, they have a lot of players on the pitch. The Nars do as well. So while the elves focus on advancing and stalling, the Nars focus on trying to do some damage. The elves are able to stall and score, but the Nars are not really able to do some damage. So a 1-1.
Yeah, looking at some of these results, it's like there's no injuries that they took on this side, and only 3 on the other side for the Space Elf Troop. It's like everybody was punching, but nobody was actually landing anything interesting here. What a boring game.
How many blocks did those Yeti to Conquer get?
They had 37 blocks that succeeded compared to 27, and they inflicted 5 KOs, but no injury, nothing permanent. So
Okay, so not a lot of blocks actually, but they should have got some type of casualty in their favor.
yeah, you would think so.
Not a lot. From
If-
37, you shouldn't clear the pitch out of elves, but you should get
Well,
something.
if those 5 KOs had been 5 permanent removals for the game, that would have been quite a difference there. But that's the way it goes.
that could change a game. Yeah.
Yeah, you hope to get those lasting removals. All right, let's take a look at our next matchup. Now, this game I did get to see was We Chillin' versus the Boss Hog Outlaws. Now, did you
Yeah,
happen to get a
but-
chance to see this game? Because We Chillin' only had
yeah.
1 armor break.
I
Oof.
kind of watched up until the point where it went to 2-0, and then I just
You just
checked
tuned out. Yeah, I can understand why. I don't like to say that when somebody gets diced, but oh my god, this is an ugly game. So
Well, I wouldn't say diced because the Boss Hog Outlaw was very solid. They played against the Wizard and Edge 5 kind of perfectly.
Mhm.
So it wasn't just the dice. But when you play very well and the dice are in your favor, then that's how you win easy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a dicing, but they had favorable dicing, in my opinion. So
Yeah, when I was watching it, I thought, "Ooh, this is ugly," but that's just from an outsider perspective. Let's see, 15 blocks you threw. Congrats. I'm surprised that you threw that many blocks. He threw 50 blocks on you, 5 KOs, 4 injuries. He just every time I tuned in, somebody was getting knocked and removed, and it was just counting up on the sideline to all these these elves out of the game. I was like, "Ooh, this is
yeah.
getting ugly."
Did you see I even got a armor break?
Did you? I didn't even see
Full
that.
armor break in my favor.
Let's take a look. For Boss Hog Outlaws, oh yeah, there you go. You had 7 successful armor and then 1 failure, so his armor held up 87% of the time. That was just a beatdown. Congratulations. I thought it was going to go the other way around, but did not.
I tried. I should have set up the Wizard more aggressively.
Yeah.
Now that I think of the game, and I could possibly have went offense first, took my chances at getting a draw by going offense first, but
Yeah.
I think it was just close to 30 blocks, maybe a little bit more for him, and by the end I didn't have any players, so that's not what I expect. Conceding just 30 blocks is around what I want any game, so
Yeah.
there wasn't much more I could do there, I felt like.
Well,
But
good win.
congratulations to Vulpes, yeah.
Good win for him.
And he looks to be one of the top teams by
Okay,
the end
well,
of the
let's
season.
not go there, Charles. Come on. Come on. All right. Let's take a look at Stump Force. 1-2 loss to the Blighty Moes. The Blighty Moes continue to put things down.
Yeah,
Did you happen
but
to
I
see
do
this
think
one?
they have a difficult schedule coming up.
This is the hard part of their schedule.
Looking at it, I think so. They're gonna have a lot of tough matchups yet. They still have to face the other Nurgle. They still have to face the Azera. They still have to face the Camry.
Yeah.
So I think they can prove me wrong, but they're gonna have a very difficult part of their season now, and now we're gonna see if they're for real.
Yeah, quite the difference here. Stump Force took 58 blocks compared to 32. They also took 5 KOs, 4 casualties, and 1 death. So the Blighty Moes just had the upper hand. But what's weird in the statistics are Stump Force had the ball possession 62% of the time compared to 12%. So
Interesting.
That's kind of an interesting result. Good day of pickup.
Nurgle scoring fast.
Nurgle scoring often and just punching people out.
I wasn't able to
somebody
watch
took a
this one.
chainsaw here. That's always a bad idea. I hate chainsaws. I really do, Charles, because it's either feast or famine. There's no average chainsaw. It's like it's out on the first turn, or it lasts the whole game and wins the game for you. But you're really gambling on that. I don't see anything
It
crazy.
did a great job for him on the Zeta game, and now it came back to average, I guess, by
Yeah.
not being that good this time.
Yeah, a couple of lone rolls here. Dauntless firing 66% of the time. Nothing amazing stands out here. Just sounds like a good old-fashioned beatdown by the Blighty Moes.
Maybe the chainsaw against regen is not as good.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be just my theory. I don't know.
Yeah, against elves maybe, but all right. One cheese, 2-1 win over the Gourmet Governors. Rex Longbow getting it done. He's got to be happy about that.
Yeah,
Let's see. 43%
looking
ball
very
possession.
strong.
Yeah, they inflicted 7 KOs and 2 injuries. Of course, a lot of these KOs and injuries could have been the Vamps hurting themselves. Huge day in pickup for one cheese for SPP. Not a bad day for the Gourmet Governors. They went over 10 points. Anything over 10 points is usually good. Dice rolls. Anything interesting here? 72% for one cheese, so a little worse than you would expect. Injuries held up about right. Wake up KOs, so nothing amazing there. Gourmet Governor's blood loss 73%. Eesh, that's a lot of 15 failures. Oof.
But he is rolling more because now he's playing on 5 vampires again.
Oh, that's true. And if he's activating his vampires every turn, that's going to be a huge amount.
Which he had to because it was kind of a crazy start to the game, and the reds are so fast that he had to.
You got to get him around.
The start of the game, it got a little bit crazy when the reds went for a vanity pass, and then against vampires they threw some hypnogazes. By the way, how did the hypnogazes go?
Hypnotic Gaze worked 55% of the time, so he had 11 successes but 9 failures, so that's a little lower than average, I would think.
Yeah, so they got some hypnogazes, and the reds going for the vanity pass found themselves with a strength 5 blodger carrying the ball in their face.
Yeah.
And then they are unable to get a sack, and the vampires just score. So the game actually starts 1-0 on the reds offensive drive, and they were able to come back. They got pressured, but they just used the movement with a handoff, and it becomes difficult for the vampires to catch up to those movement 9 guys. And especially since every time you move one of those vampires, you have to roll the bloodlust, as you saw. Failed a lot in that game. And then the vamps on their offense, I felt it was interesting that they got sacked twice, but they catched both the scatters.
Yeah.
That must be quite frustrating for the opponent, but it did give them a chance to score. When they were trying to score, though, they failed the Bloodlust and they had to throw a 4+ pass instead of. I think they could have made a 2+ pass if they didn't fail the Bloodlust.
Yeah.
I also learned a new rule. If you're going to pass, you need to bite first. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
And then the rats recovered, and they allow a sack to happen by trying to stall. But by that time, the vampire team only had 3 players on the pitch, so 2-1 Skaven.
2-1 Skaven. All right. Congratulations, Rex. Let's see. We looked at Getting to Conquer. The Grody Greens 2-0 win over the Romanian Rebels.
Yeah,
Oof.
facing those Nurgle, it's always going to be difficult.
It's always difficult. Looks like Nurgle had 56% ball possession to 31%. Let's see. They threw 41 blocks, 4 KOs, 1 injury. So not a bad day, and I wouldn't think that was a lot of kill power there. Yeah. So 5 KOs. Of course, it just depends on when those KOs happened. SPP.
Yeah, this isn't the most killy as far as Nurgle teams go, so
Yeah.
it's alright.
Armor holding up for the Grody Greens. Jeez, their dice were really lopsided though. This is amazing. They had 27 ones and only 8 sixes. That was really lopsided in the amount of ones the Grody Greens threw. The Romanian Rebels pretty well balanced on their dice. Let's take a look here. Injury dice are actually pretty good. Armor dice a little below average. I don't see anything bizarre here that stands out. Tentacles. Apparently the tentacles was a big thing though because they had 11 failures and trying to dodge away. So he must have got
And how many successes?
4. But
yeah,
he must have had a lot of players touching the tentacles and just couldn't get anywhere.
yeah, and that beast is kind of amazing for that. It's the strength up beast.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You definitely want somebody with juggernauts to push that thing around and get it out of your face. But does that one have block? I can't even remember. I'd have to look at the team, but one of them has
I think
block.
it's a block and strength.
Somebody's got to kill that thing quick, like before I get to the division, because I do not want to see that thing in my face.
Yes,
But-
it's block, strength 6, stand firm, guard, and break tackle.
No, thank you. Good night. I just take a lightning bolt just for that thing. Screw it.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then foul it with a Rebbl god.
I gotta be honest. I think I did last season. I did that. I faced somebody else who had a similar strength up, and I just threw a lightning bolt on it and fouled it, and it just didn't even knock it out though.
Oof,
Yeah,
painful.
painful. Next, let's take a look at Ars Gotia and Bogue Bombers. Now, did you get a chance to see this game?
Oh yeah, what an upset. So let's go right into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so a warrior catches the kickoff, and then Zazera has the decision of whether he wants to carry with that thing with a strength 4, which might be cool, or if he wants to use the strength 4 for punching and facing people and use his natural ball carrier.
Yeah.
He decides to keep the ball on the warrior and starts to commit forward to grab space and to get some art blocks, hoping to get some removals, but the dice there weren't so hot. He was throwing mostly pushes, not getting any kind of removals.
See?
And then by turn 3, after he committed forward, he decides to hand off. He fails and doesn't reroll. And so the humans with a wizard, they sidestep the chaos, they put pressure on the ball after the chaos already has some players far away. And on the next turn, they use a lightning bolt to free up the ball and run away with it. And the chaos keeps trying to get removals, but they actually end up getting outbashed by the humans after the humans steal the ball.
Nice.
The chainsaw got 1 casualty and 1 KO, and then ate a big punch and was was off the pitch. So was valuable. And then the chaos show up for the second half with just 8 players, so that tells you how much damage those humans caused, because Tiazera has like 13 players or something like that, so they kind of got 5 removals or 6 removals on the first half. And early on the second half, Chaos loses 3 more players. And then they actually do try to defend. I remember this game was streamed, and I don't remember which channel, but the person was saying, well, at least Tiazera is trying to defend, but it was very painful. He only had 5 players for most of the second half, and by the end of it, the humans scored with only 3 Chaos players on the pitch. So
I gotta tell you, I'm a little choked up because this sounds like the feel-good event of the season. I mean,
yeah,
just
what a great win!
What a great win! A second season team human come in and just put the beat down on like a 12 season Chaos team. So
Surely
yeah,
you mean dwarves, though.
whatever, same difference. Just a beautiful. I love to hear that kind of stuff. So that was nice to see. And then Helmet is the Bow Bombers MVP. So that's kind of unfortunate, but you got to be happy about that 0-2 win against a Killy Chaos team.
And he kind of deserved the MVP after the work he put on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then
suddenly
Gosha.
the Bow Bombers is looking at possibly a chance at the playoff spot. He's 4 points behind right now.
And everybody in the division has to see Ars Gosha is beatable. So that's got to be uplifting for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's left.
If you roll all of the cast dice, he's beatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Just roll well. All right, let's take a look at our next game. Or let's see, Ace Trucking Company 1-1 tie versus Bring Out Your Undead. Now this was kind of the upset of the week because Ace Trucking Company, and I did watch this game, but I just remember it was pretty unremarkable. The only remarkable thing about it was Ace Trucking Company stayed in the game the whole time because they came in just devastated, wiped out just all kinds of extra players, star players, loners, and he managed to keep a 1-1 tie. He's got to be happy about that. He held the ball, kept it. I mean, maybe Rand's luck is just running out.
Giving inspiration to Charv coaches everywhere that maybe making a Hobgoblin team could yield some nice results.
Yeah.
I hope he has a lot of Hobgoblin when he plays me.
He had that Frenzy Hobgoblin who was the star of that match. I do remember that. Let's take a quick look here.
Oh yeah, then needs to die soon, doesn't it? He has some 2 crazy Hobgoblins, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's got like a Frenzy block, maybe Strength Hobgoblin. I just remember that thing doing a lot of work, and I said something to Kix. I was like, hey, that Hobgoblin proved me wrong. But I think he said he was just throwing it out there hoping it would die, but it wouldn't. It just kept MVPing. It was doing everything. So that was definitely his MVP piece on the team.
Understandable.
Yeah, let's take a look and see if there's anything here. 5 KOs sustained by Bring Out Your Undead and 2 casualties, and really only 2 KOs on Ace Trucking Company. So that's one of those crazy results. I expected it to be a 2 or more sided, 2-point lopsided for the Undead, or Bring Out Your Undead. Amazing.
Yeah, and that stops Bring Out Your Undead for a little bit. That was a result they needed.
All right.
But of course, everyone's so close then.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. We'll come back and we'll take a look at our pound for pound and see where everybody is on the leaderboard. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our pound for pound leaderboard. We take a look at standings, see who's on top, who's on bottom, who's moving up, who's moving down. Zia Zeta, 5 wins, 15 points, now tied with Vulpes. Now, I gotta be honest, I didn't think Vulpes was gonna do this well, but he seems to have put his mind to it, and he's making moves again. 5 wins, 3 losses.
Yeah, I think it was the early matchups, as he said. He had the hard part of the schedule early, and then he's getting into his groove now.
Yeah. Kind of the opposite of me and Rebbl. I had the easy schedule first, and now I'm going through the hard part, so... Good for him. Okay. Ken making moves. 3rd place, 14 points. Motley still in contention to get a Challenger Cup spot, 14. Although Rex Longbone's still actually in it, so...
Yeah.
Now,
and Rex Longbone has been looking great in recent weeks.
Yeah. Now, spots 6 through... It looks like 6 through 9. These are the guys that are on the bubble. You can still, well, I even say B-Dog probably, so 6 through 10. Still on the bubble. You're not completely out of it, so if you keep playing strong, you've got a chance. Obviously, I think once you get below that 11 through 14, your chances here are pretty slim. Yeah, I don't see any surprising moves.
Division.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Motley's still up here. I mean, he's doing really well, so that's a good thing. And Ken, we didn't know much about Ken. He's come out of nowhere, but it's a Nurgle team. It's very strong. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Rand, right back down in the middle of the pack. He came out sort of strong, but now he's kind of fading away. But that could just be because, like I said, he's only a second season team, and Kemery needs time to develop. And then once they hit that peak plateau, they just get killed anyway. So
and they'll soon be facing top of the league Zia Zera.
Yeah.
I think in 2 weeks that's gonna be the real test.
Well, he's gonna lose a few Tomb Guardians, and that's gonna be the end of his career. So.
Well, he's already losing some.
I think he lost one or two so far.
They look kind of fresh, all of them.
Yeah.
I think he has level 2s at most. I don't think he has any level 3 left.
Right.
Might be wrong.
Yeah, Ace Trucking Company continues their rebuilding season. Orifer getting crushed down there for Orifer. Stump Force as well, but you each get 1 win so far, so you can't complain unless that's an admin win. Then you can't complain.
No, everyone got a real win.
A real win, nice.
Yeah, and Stump Force actually got the biggest upset of the season by beating Arsgosha.
That's very true. So that's
right now
feather in
number
your cap.
14.
Yeah,
number 14 has beat number 1.
Yeah, if you don't win anything else the rest of the season, you can still say I beat the number 1 spot. So.
Yes.
All right. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back with our main event. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our main event where we take a look at who's on our next week's games. We try to get a coach in here, and somebody we've never had on before is B-Dog. Welcome to the show, B-Dog.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. Now, this is your second season in Rebbl, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And how are you enjoying your time?
I was enjoying it a little more last season.
Oh yeah, yeah. Last season, you were really tearing it up.
It's more fun when you win, right?
Get to the playoffs last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump right into it, and we'll take a look here. Charles, who do you have up for your main event?
We got a preview of Rebbl, how Rebbl is gonna look like in the next few seasons with a Nurgle mirror matchup. We always talk about the Nurgle apocalypse that's incoming, and this week we're gonna have a preview of that.
Yeah, I hate Nurgle so much it's not even funny at this point. And I got 2 Nurgle teams in my division that have had like 6 seasons under their belt, and I'm going up. I have 3 seasons under my belt.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get slaughtered. And it's just
I don't know
ugly.
where they keep coming up with these Nurgle teams, but it seems like every division has at least 2 of them.
I know. It's like it's just the worst.
It's as if they are like an infestation, like some sickness.
It is
right?
like a zombie apocalypse. You're absolutely. I keep telling people that they don't believe me. And then
They
next
don't,
season,
until it's too late.
Yeah,
you know.
yes,
They're
it's like
gonna
those
believe us
movies.
when it's too late.
You're watching a movie and they're telling you that the zombies are coming, and people are like, "Oh, stop it! Nothing, stop it!" And now all of a sudden you're overrun.
You're crazy. Yeah, they always say we're crazy.
Half the teams you face next season are going to be some kind of Nurgle team. It's going to be insane.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So let's jump right into it. Who do you got? The Grody Greens and the Bloody Moes. All right. Let me take a look here and see how they look. Let's see. The Grody Greens coming in at 1960. The Bloody Moes coming in at 1970. So both teams pretty even in that regard. And let's see. The Grody Greens come in healthy. Bloody Moes missing a Pestigore. But the Bloody Moes just have so much claw on their team. It's not even funny.
Right.
And the Grody Greens just have 1 claw. So Charles, who do you like in this matchup?
I'm going with the Killier kill team. I think the Bloody Moes got this, and they're gonna start looking close to the top after this win.
Yeah, I think I am going to take the Bloody Moes as well, just because that's so much claw, and I don't see any way to get around that. B-Dog, who do you like in that matchup?
I actually haven't played either one of these yet, but I'm gonna have to go with the one higher in the standings, the Blighty Moes.
Blighty Moes, we're all in agreement.
So
I
having
can already see how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 1-1, one Rodder dies, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what happens when they face each other.
Yeah. They don't do any damage to each other, and then let the next victims try to handle it.
They're gonna kill me the next 2 weeks.
Yep, you'll be dead the next 2 weeks. That's
Can you
When I
unfortunate.
get
share
it back.
Can you share with us what is your plan to beat these teams, or maybe just mangle them however you can, since you haven't faced any of them?
Probably gonna be a lot like the Zayzeta match.
Oh,
gonna-
that would be cool to watch.
Gonna have to hit them before they can kill my whole team.
If that works, I'm gonna need to take that playbook and use it myself, because usually they wind up killing me before
Oh,
I
yeah.
can do anything. Oh well. I'm gonna have to go back and watch your game and see how that was done. Let's take a look. Charles, who do you want to look at next? Oh, here we go. We Chillin' versus the Bogue Bombers. Interesting.
Yeah.
We keep having you have scheduled guests when they're on, so that works out kind of nice. Bogue,
Jeez.
well, let me take a look here. Bogue Bombers coming at 1690. We Chillin' at 1720. Let's see. Bogue Bombers coming in. Looks like they're completely healthy. And We Chillin' is missing a lineman and a couple of players, so they're not completely at 11 players yet.
Oh,
Alright.
I was at no lineman, but I decided to buy 2 for this matchup.
Oh, you shouldn't do that because your linemen just die too easily.
Yeah, that
Alright.
happens.
Let me take a look at this. I am going to pick... I'm going to pick the dwarf team, Bogue Bombers.
Okay,
Who do you like in this one,
dwarves-
Charles?
Dwarves versus elves is always difficult.
Yeah.
I think this kind of human dwarves is a little bit better matchup for dark elves. And this week I'm going to pick myself. I don't think I'm gonna get bashed off the pitch early. So I gotta give myself the pick this time.
All right. B-Dog, who do you like in this matchup?
Well, I didn't come on here to pick against myself.
You damn
so
straight.
I'll go with myself. I don't think it'll be easy, but
Yeah. It's not going to be easy. Charles is a crafty veteran. He knows how to hold the ball away from you and take it deep and then score quickly. So,
I'm gonna have a hard time protecting the ball. But
yep. You've got tackle. You've got 3 tackle pieces. I'm betting on you. I think you can do it, buddy. All right.
Yeah,
and anytime
just-
I get a bet against Charles, it's a good day.
Just focus those nice fouls you got on the loners and you can win.
Do not listen to my co-host this week, B-Dog. He is lying to you. Try to kill the witch elves. His whole team functions through the witch elves.
No.
All right.
Don't
that
do it.
Agi 5's looking good.
That Agi 5 is looking sharp. Both of them, the Blitzer and the Witch Elf. You stomp on both of them and make everybody in the division happy. All right.
Honestly, though, I probably used up all my fouling last week.
Yeah. Well, there's always room for more fouling. Charles loves a good foul.
You did get some nice damage against Yazet. I think you got an armor bust in some killer using a foul, right? Hopefully you don't do it again.
No, I hope you do it again. Let's take a look at our next matchup. Bring Out Your Undead versus Romanian Rebels. Bring Out Your Undead is at 1760, and the Romanian Rebels come in at Stout 2080. Man,
Oh,
that is
yeah.
a beefy Dark Elf team. Bring Out Your Undead. Let's see if they're healthy. Yep, they come in completely healthy. And the Romanian Rebels as well come in at a full 16 players on their roster. Man, that's a lot of players. I wonder how he's not dying, and Charles, you're just dying. So
Maybe he's just better because he's surviving very well, but he's always a younger team. He's also a younger team, so you can survive for some seasons, but after a while it gets to you.
yeah, maybe the runner on his team is also a medic, and we don't know it, and he's keeping everybody on the team alive.
Oh, that could be
See,
it.
you
If
don't
have
play
a
with
runner,
runners, so there you would never know.
They might have some special apothecary power that I don't know about.
Could be. Rand's got a nice looking team here. Still think I like elves against the slow Khemri team, so I'm gonna pick the Romanian rebels in this one. Who do you like, B-Dog?
I definitely think the matchup favors the Dark Elves. Knowing Rand, he'll probably dodge free, grab the ball, and throw it downfield for the game-winning score.
Yeah, absolutely. That Lucker noob. He'll throw from half field too. He'll just throw, and he'll pick it up with just a regular skeleton, with Edge 2 or something. Get tired of seeing that guy win. Charles, who do you like in this one?
I actually disagree from you guys. I think this is mostly a Camry favorable matchup. Therefore, I think Bring Out Your Undead is gonna win, but I almost picked Romanian Rebels. I think they got a nice shot, even though Bring Out Your Undead has looked strong.
Yeah, if Bring Out Your Undead had any more, they only got 2 tackle pieces, so I just don't. It's not my thing.
And that big bench on the elves is gonna help, I think.
Absolutely, that will keep you in the game. Let's take a look at our next matchup. We got Ars Gotia versus the Gourmet Governors. Ooh, this is gonna be a bad one because Ars Gotia is gonna be coming in smoking mad after his last stunning loss.
Hurricane B-Dog just passed through them.
He just B-Dog.
I did some work on him.
You did some work on him, and now it looks like the Gourmet Governor is gonna pay the price. Let's take a look here. 1760 versus 1970. The Gourmet Governor is really beefing up their team. Ars Gotia missing a warrior, a beastman, and a beastman. Zoinks. That's a lot out. And those are his killers that are out. His Pylon, Claw, Mighty Blow killers are both out. Mamma mia. This is going to be interesting. Let's take a look at Gourmet Governors here. Completely healthy. Okay, this is my upset, Wick. I got to go with the Gourmet Governors on this one. I think Lumi is a good enough coach to take advantage of Zeta missing all these extra pieces. So that's my pick. Who do you like, Charles?
I'm gonna go with you. I think it's the perfect opportunity for the Governors to get an upset. I think they have been playing well. They have been well coached, even though sometimes the dice have been hurting them. And with the Chaos licking their wounds, it's the time for them to get the upset.
Yeah. Who do you like in this one, B-Dog?
Well, trusting a vampire seems like a risky bet, but seeing as I bashed the other team for him, I feel like I can take credit if the Governors win.
Yeah, you get half the payroll if they win whatever they're winning. They split it with you.
And he gets half the
vampires.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So we're all picking Zeta to. Oh, that's kind of dangerous too. That whenever I pick against Zeta, he turns it around and proves me wrong.
Yeah.
All right. But good luck, Luminous. Everybody in the division needs to keep bashing the leaders in this division.
So Wolf, you skipped over Ace Trucking, I believe.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. Ace Trucking Company. If I have to watch this game, okay. Ace Trucking Company coming in at 1680. Murdery Space Elf Troop at 1940. Now this Ace Trucking Company has been really hurt lately. Let's see. How many blockers I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So they're still not at full strength yet. They just can't afford it, I assume. Cash. Oh, they got 180 in cash. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, they're gonna buy one then.
Yeah, that looks like it. They'll have a couple. They've got 2 rookie, or at least 2 level 1s on the team. Oof. Let's see. Murdery Space Elf Troop. Murdery Space Elf Troop is the one with the strength 4 lineman. Yeah, I think for this one, that seems like a easy one for the Murdery Space Elf Troop. But then again, Kix has been in the division a long time, and he's got plenty of Mighty Blow. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm gonna go with Murdery Space Elf Troop. B-Dog, who do you like in this one?
I have to say, this Dark Elf team makes me feel very inadequate.
Yeah, they're pretty strong.
As I do, more strength.
Yeah. So you're gonna go with the elves on this one?
Yeah, I have to go with the elves.
Charles, who do you like?
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna hope that you guys are right, but this time I have to pick against the Dark Elf Brothers. I think if the beatdown I just took is any indication, they're gonna struggle to keep people on the pitch, and Charves just win by default.
Chorus just get enough removals and take the win.
Yeah.
All right, I hear you. All right. What was I saying was next? Grody
Yeti.
Greens, Bloody. Oh, we already covered that one. And Yeti to Conquer.
Yeah.
Versus Boss Hog Outlaws. Yeti to Conquer coming in at 1920, fairly healthy for a Norse team this late in the season. Boss Hog Outlaws 1990. This is gonna be an interesting matchup now. Let's see. The Norse come in completely healthy, and them good old Duke boys come in completely healthy as well. This is one of those games where I play Chorse, and everybody says, "Oh, Norse will be no problem. They're only armor 7." But the problem is that they have block, so you only have 2 dice results that can get them down. It becomes a little more. You can't really pick easy targets on the team to remove, so it's not as easy as people think it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then plus they foul all the time. I mean, or they pile on you, and so you got to go foul them. And if the refs are calling it, then you start getting removals as well. So it's like, ugh. I don't know, boy. This is. I'll let you go first, Charles. See who you like. I got to think about this one.
I think Boss Hog, both these teams actually are very well coached. I think they have been very solid in that aspect. I just feel like after what they did to my AV8, I don't expect Armor 7 to do much better, so I'm going with the Charves.
All right. B-Dog, who do you like in this one?
I can't pick the Norse as long as Drax is still alive.
Did he do something to you?
210 on a Cripple Cup player.
No. All right. So you're going with the Chorse on that one. I think I'm gonna go with the Norse on this one. I'll just be the upset pick here. I think it's because it's always a pain to get all that block, and you just wind up standing there. You're looking silly when you both block. So that is my pick for that matchup. Although obviously this one could go either way. Both teams are ready to do some damage here, and Claw won't really be a factor in this game. So I gotta go with the Norse. Let's take a look. Who else we got? Last matchup we have is One Cheese and Stump Force. Rex Longbone on the show last week. One Cheese coming in at 1700, and Stump Force coming in at 1660. Let's see. Rex's team, One Cheese, comes in missing a lineman but with no skills. Stump Force coming in missing a runner and a blocker, so that's kind of big when you're missing a runner. He's got his good. That's not his good runner. That's his move busted runner. So he's still got his good one in here. For this matchup, I'm gonna go with Rex Longbone's One Cheese. I think they are a speedy team. They can get it done before they take enough removals. Yeah. Who do you like in this one, Charles?
I'm gonna go with the same. I think they can run all around those dwarves. They get a win. They lose some linemen in the process, but the 3 points is what counts.
Yeah, and they still got. I mean, they've got 2 of their blitzers with Claw, Mighty Will, Pile on. So the dwarves can't just disregard that they could be killed just as easily.
Yeah, and these dwarves are mostly built to face
Bigger
bastions,
guys. Yeah.
instead of the rats.
Yeah, the Death Roller's funny. That's the wild card that we never can figure out what it's gonna do. Death Roller with block is just amazing. But who do you like in this one, B-Dog?
I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be the Skaven team. They're just enough bitch with the dwarves.
I like it. We're all in agreement on that one. I think that is everybody. That's all the games in the division. All right, so let's see. B-Dog, have you been having a good time here, though, in Rebbl?
I think it's a great league.
Oh, okay. All right.
How
Go ahead, Charles.
How do you feel about the humans? Are you hitting the limiter? Are you thinking about re-rolling? How do you feel about it on high TV situations?
Well, in my team in particular, I haven't had the stat ups that I really need. Because IG4 guy to pick up the ball or something. I'm dependent on 3+ is way too much.
And you don't have any type of crazy killer, so...
No,
Yeah, the main thing my team has been doing is rolling doubles for dodge, which actually helped a lot last season, but I don't think it's helping anymore at this team value.
Yeah, last
Oh,
season you
that's
were our
actually good.
surprise. I mean, you just came out of nowhere and just kept going and winning and winning, and we kept doubting you, and you kept winning, and now you're up in a much higher division. I mean, just because you won the division, you got booted up to a really way too high of a division. But yeah, your run last season was amazing, and just the fact that you're still hanging in it and beating the top teams shows that you're a good coach. You know what you're doing. Is there a time when you take the team and just go, that's enough, I'm gonna start a new team and start back in an easy division? Or are you gonna try to maybe stick it out? Because you're gonna get, if you don't win this season, you're gonna drop down a few divisions to where like you normally should be.
Right now the team's all right, so yeah, I wouldn't re-roll it right now. And I mean, honestly, there's a couple players that it wouldn't hurt to cycle them.
Yeah, it's always hard to figure out when to do that because right now you're in such a bashy division. You hate to recycle a player and then get one of your other players bashed.
Yeah, I thought my opponents would do it for me, but so far they've only gotten one blitzer.
And then the biggest killer in the division barely even scratched the surface, hurting you. So that's unfortunate. Yeah. Well, fortunate for you, but all right. All right, well, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate your time. I know that we couldn't get you on last season. You were ducking us, but it's good that we finally got you on.
Thank you for finally coming.
All right.
It was fun.
Thank you. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back, and we'll check out our last segment of the show. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is the outro section of our show where we take a look. Actually, we don't take a look at anything. We just kind of sit around and kibitz. But on the screen here, I will put the ELO rankings, kind of give you an idea of what the computer projections are for the wins versus what actually happens. Charles, any news or anything interesting going on around Rebbl?
Oh, a week by Rebbl ELO last time around is something that comes to my mind, of course, because I'm the one writing this. Was just slightly better than picking at random, like 5%, which is not what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So let's hope for a better week this time.
Yeah, and a bad week for the Friday Night Fights crew.
Oof.
You lost and I lost. Ugh, it's getting ugly.
Yeah, but we did have the print screen from when we were both on top, so
They can never take that away from us, can they?
yes.
Yeah.
We finished 1 week at the top. If the season ended that week, we would both be
Yeah,
champions.
and how many other recap teams have get that brag and get to claim that? So
Exactly 0.
Exactly.
Nobody said that.
nobody
Like,
will ever
if
do
they
that record
were-
again.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Will never happen, has never happened before, and will never happen
They
again.
can't take that away from us. Now, your Elo picked me last week to win, and I'm hoping this week it's not picking me again because I think that's what jinxed me.
So you were the one breaking the system.
Oh, I broke your system bad, Charles. But to be fair, it's not really my fault I lost. It was clearly a dicing. So
Against Lizardman, if I remember correctly.
no, Charles, it wasn't a dice. I just got crushed. Like, here's the thing I hate about Rebbl, and it's nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. But one thing that's so important is your schedule and how the games come through the schedule. Like my two hardest games right now were Lizardman and then Nurgle. And then what happened is the week before they played Callisti's Rats, and Callisti doesn't care about his.
Fresh.
Oh, he comes fresh. Not only that is that Callisti doesn't care if he wins or loses anymore, so he winds up giving the other teams 2 skills. Like he 2 players skilled up, and they're like, "Oh, I got Chaos Dwarfs this week." So before that game, I had more guard than him. Now, after he played Callisti, guess who doesn't have more guard than the team I'm facing? I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I'm like, "Okay, he can't do this to me again." And sure as shit, this week he does it again to me. Callisti gave him 2 more skills on the team I'm facing, and he gave him a Marauder. And I'm like, okay, now are you doing this on purpose, Callisti? What are you doing here?
And you bring up an interesting point about playing on leagues, which is even if you're not competing, you do have a certain obligation to the rest of the team to at least try.
Absolutely.
Because that's exactly it. If you tried really hard against somebody at the start of the season and then you just give up against some other guy, then you are clearly giving somebody an advantage. I think it's a kind of respect you have to everyone else to try to win. That's what I did last season when I didn't have any chance. I actually got some wins at the end there.
Absolutely.
I think it's just good sportsmanship.
Well, I just like to ruin people's seasons. I mean, like, I knew I was out of contention
That-
like 2 seasons ago, so I said, okay, who's the most expensive piece on the other guy's team? Let me see if I can kill that. And sure as shit, like 3 games out of the season, I killed their most expensive piece. So I think that's doing a
That feels good.
yeah, it's doing a service to the entire division. But yeah, Felicity quit playing. He doesn't care about his team, so he's just like, eh. And then now, oh, that's it. I had more claw than the Nurgle team going into the week. But guess who has less claw now? So like,
Oh.
you gave him 2 skills, and you just take claw, and I'm like, oh, thanks. Jesus
Sure.
criminy. So I don't know what. This is just amazing. So
And you know why? Because that coach is gonna go into a Nurgle team, so he's also part of the Nurgle apocalypse.
yeah, so maybe it's just
He
helping the
doesn't care
Nurgles.
about the rats because he's gonna be a Nurgle
Dirty Nurgle.
next season.
So
Yeah,
let that be a
dirty
warning to this division. Kill all the Nurgle pieces early. Don't let them live. All right.
Yeah.
Any other
Let
news
those
around?
teams build.
Any other news around Rebbl?
Oh, I hear they're looking for admins on Imperium,
Okay.
the card game with boosters and stuff. I didn't hear anything else.
Do you play that? I don't play that.
I haven't tried.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
should at some point.
I don't have enough time just recently 'cause with all the extra stuff.
Yeah,
that's
same.
going
With recapping and this Rebbl Willow and stuff and playing leagues,
Yep.
it's my whole Blood Bowl time.
on. That is true. All right. Well, you guys have a good game this week. That'll be fun to watch. Hopefully, let everybody know early so I can tune in and see
Yeah.
B-Dog whip up on you. That'll be fun. And everybody else, have a good week. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Yeah, you too. See ya.